Trauma touches every single one of us. It doesn't always wear the same face, but it leaves its fingerprints. Maybe it came from a childhood where love felt conditional. Maybe it was the betrayal in a relationship you thought would last forever. Maybe it was the sudden loss of someone you loved, or the quiet, constant weight of never feeling like you're enough. Trauma has many doors it walks through, like abuse, neglect, heartbreak, failure, addiction, and once inside, it settles deep. But many of us don't want to face it. We try to hide our scars or suppress our emotions. But when we don't heal, we don't just hurt ourselves, we hurt others. We bleed on the people who never cut us. We pass on patterns we swore we'd break. The anger we bury finds its way into our tone with our loved ones. And the pain we suppress shows up as distance with our partner. The shame we carry keeps us from fully stepping into our friendships, our careers, our lives. Not healing doesn't make the trauma go away. It just buries it, like a landmine, waiting. And every time stress, disappointment, or conflict enters our lives, that landmine explodes. It may look like anger, it may look like withdrawal, it may look like perfectionism, control, or self-sabotage. But underneath it all, it's that wound still open, still bleeding. How many times have you seen someone lash out in a way that didn't make sense? Or the opposite, they shut down completely when the world asked for their presence. That's trauma talking. That's unhealed pain running the show. And if we're not careful, if we don't take responsibility for our healing, we'll pass it on to our children, our partners, our friends, our co-workers. Pain becomes generational, not because it's chosen, but because it's unacknowledged. So what's the alternative? It's healing. Now, healing doesn't mean erasing what happened to you. It doesn't mean pretending it didn't matter or that it didn't hurt. Healing means learning to face it, process it, and choosing not to let it rule your life anymore. It's therapy, it's journaling, it's sitting with the hard feelings instead of numbing them away. It's leaning on trusted people who can support you, not trying to outrun it with busyness or distractions. Healing is work, but it's required work, because when you choose to heal, you stop the cycle. You stop bleeding on people who never cut you. You stop carrying a story that wasn't yours to begin with, and you open space for love, trust, and growth. Healing starts with you. No one else can do it for you. A relationship won't fix you. A friend's presence won't erase the wound. People can support you, yes, but they cannot carry your healing. That's yours. That's your path. That's your responsibility. So if you're listening to this right now and you know you've been carrying something heavy, something unspoken, maybe unresolved, I want you to hear me. It's okay. Trauma is part of the human experience, but you owe it to yourself and to the people you love to do the work. Because when you heal, you don't just free yourself, you free everyone from you and the hurt you've been carrying. We all want big results. We dream of achieving more, being better, getting ahead. But we all think they have to come through big breakthroughs or overnight success. And that's just not true. The real secret to success is in the small wins, the little victories, the little changes that we make that effectively over time create the results we want. This is called micro efficiencies. Think of it like this. If you improve just 1% every day, in the beginning you're not going to notice anything, but over time those little changes create the results you want. Micro efficiencies are the small, repeatable actions that make life smoother, increase your energy, and bring results. These don't take a lot of time. In fact, just a few minutes a day can impact you and make the transformations you want. Here's what micro efficiencies actually look like. They are setting your clothes out the night before to save you 10 minutes in the morning. They're having a water bottle on your desk that keeps you hydrated. It's using the calendar in your phone to block off 30 minutes a day so that you can focus on something that's important to you. Now, these small, tiny habits may not be life-changing on their own, but stack them together and your life starts to transform. Your mindset shifts, you waste less time, you're more organized, and all of this starts to build your confidence one decision at a time. Our world pushes the model of go big or go home. Social media is filled with instant results, big wins, people transforming their lives in 30 days. But that's not realistic for most people. Most people are juggling jobs, kids, stress. They have more things on their plate than they know how to handle. That's why micro efficiencies matter so much. They're the tiny little steps. They don't take a lot of time, but they will transform you. But you need intention. So start small. Do tasks that only take a couple of minutes, like cleaning out one drawer or one area of your room, replying to one email, going for a short break outside. All of these little things are going to start to move you in the right direction. And once you start stacking wins, your brain starts to trust you. You start to feel better. Momentum starts to pick up. And if you do get off track, you know that you can get back on quickly by making the little changes again. And look, some days you're going to be off. Some days you're going to miss the workout. You're going to forget to do certain tasks, and that's okay. Micro efficiencies isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Choose progress, always. If you want to change your life, don't think about massive overhaul. Start with the small, little intentional decisions. It's one routine that saves you 10 minutes a day. It's one healthy meal that replaces your usual diet. It's 30 minutes of stillness instead of 30 minutes of scrolling. This is how habits are built. This is how confidence is earned, with tiny steps repeated daily. Because when you do the little things right, the big things take care of themselves. You were never meant just to blend in. You were never meant to follow the exact path someone else walked. You were never meant to copy or change just to make other people comfortable. You were born to stand out. However, the world constantly pushes us to compare, to compete, to fit the mold. And that choosing to be yourself can feel like a risk. And we get caught to try and be like them, whoever they are. The ones who seem to have it all figured out. The ones with more followers, more success, more everything. So we start changing ourselves, our voice and our style. Not because we want to, but because we think we have to. But the reality is your uniqueness is your power. See, nobody on this earth has your story. Nobody has your exact perspective, your combination of strengths and struggles, and your flavor of creativity. And that thing you hide because you're afraid it's weird or different, well, that might be the exact thing someone else needs. That could be the light that inspires someone else to shine. Standing out doesn't mean shouting louder than everyone else. It means being bold enough to show up as you truly are. It means honoring your voice, your gifts, and your path, even if no one else gets it at first. Think about the people who've made a real impact in the world. The ones we remember, the ones who changed something. They didn't follow the crowd, they broke the mold. They chose to be different, and they did it on purpose. But in order to do that, it takes courage, it takes patience, and it takes trust that Being yourself will take you further than pretending ever could. If you're ready to live your authentic self, start by paying attention to the things that light you up. What do you really care about? What excites you? What feels meaningful to you, even if it doesn't make sense to anyone else? Stop apologizing for your differences. Stop hiding your quirks, your passions, your opinions. Stop muting yourself to avoid judgment. You weren't made to be a copy. You were made to be an original. Your environment should be with people who see you, who appreciate you, not in spite of your uniqueness, but because of it. And if you don't have those people yet, keep being you. The right ones will find you. But you don't need people to validate your dreams, and you don't need the world to agree before you take your next step. The life you're building is yours, so own it. And when the self-doubt creeps in, remind yourself that blending in might feel safe, but it won't lead you to where you want to go. Your future isn't becoming like everyone else. Your future is in becoming fully yourself. Your uniqueness isn't something to fix. It's something to celebrate. Because it's your fingerprint. It's your gift. It's your edge. So go ahead, be bold, be brave, and be you. No truer words have ever been spoken, and that's this. No one's coming to save you. Not the perfect mentor, not the right moment, not the dream opportunity that lands in your lap. There are no shortcuts, no magic button, no person riding in to rescue you from your pain, your past, or your patterns. And that might sound harsh, even a little cold. But it's not meant to discourage you. It's meant to wake you up. Because once you accept that no one is coming to save you, you take all your power back. You stop waiting. You stop blaming. You stop outsourcing your life to circumstances, to people, or to luck. You stop sitting in the passenger seat and instead, you grab the wheel. See, the idea that someone else is going to fix it for you, that's a lie. Truth is, it's on you. It's on you to change. It's on you to heal. It's on you to rise. But that shouldn't be viewed as a burden. That's freedom. Because if it's on you, then you're not stuck. You're not trapped. You're not waiting anymore. You can move. You can act. You can shift your entire life starting today. Not because someone gave you permission, but because you decided to stop waiting. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it takes time. Yes, it will stretch you and break you and ask more from you than you thought you had to give. But you have everything you need to start. You don't need to be saved. You need to be activated. You need to believe in your own ability to change. You need to look in the mirror and say, no one's coming to do this for me, but I've got me, and that's enough. You are aware that every success story started with someone deciding they were done waiting. They stopped expecting life to make it easier. They stopped hoping someone would discover them, fix them, or take the weight off. They said, I'll carry it. I'll figure it out. I'll become who I need. And you can too. Start small. Start messy. Start unsure, but start. Because action beats hope every single time. Don't wait for motivation. Build discipline. Don't wait for applause. Get to work. Don't wait to feel ready. Ready is a myth. Just go. And yes, you'll have setbacks. You'll get tired. You'll want to quit. But you won't, because deep down, something in you knows no one's coming. And that's the best news ever. Because if you're the one who builds it, no one can take it away. If you're the one who climbs, every step is earned. And if you're the one who saves yourself, you'll never have to fear falling again. You'll know how to rise. You'll know how to rebuild. You'll know the strength was in you the whole time. So stop looking for a hero and be the hero. Be the one who decides you're not waiting anymore. You don't need a rescue, you need a reason, a plan, a decision. No one's coming to save you, but guess what? You're already strong enough to save yourself. And that's the beginning of everything. Food is comfort, but it can also be sabotage. Let's be honest, food isn't just fuel, food is emotion. Food is comfort when the world feels cold. That late night snack, that wasn't about hunger, it was about stress. That extra treat after the long workout, that wasn't about reward, it was about permission. And we've all done it. We've hit the gym or had a hard day, and then we tell ourselves, I earned this pizza, or I deserve this pint. I can cheat a little. I worked for it. But the truth is, you can't outwork your fork. If you're wondering why the scale won't move, or if your muscles aren't showing the way they should, or if your energy still crashes by 3 p.m., it might not be your workouts. It might be what you're doing after them. The gym is 1 hour of your day. The kitchen is the other 23. And this isn't about guilt. This isn't about never enjoying a slice of cake or sharing fries with friends. This is about awareness. Because sometimes we forget every bite is either moving you closer to your goals or pulling you further away. Food can heal or hurt. It can build you or break you. It can be your strongest ally or your silent enemy. And what makes it hard is food is tied to feelings. We celebrate with it, we grieve with it, we reward ourselves when we feel strong, and we reach for it when we feel weak. But success, real lasting success, doesn't come from a single good choice. It comes from consistency, from discipline, from learning how to say, I'm not going to undo my progress for 5 minutes of pleasure. Because yes, that donut tastes amazing now, but how will you feel an hour later? Yes, that fast food is quick and easy, but is it feeding your strength or your stress? You're not failing because you don't know what to eat. You're struggling because food has become a reward, a coping mechanism, a habit, instead of a tool. So here's the mindset shift. Food is not the enemy, but your relationship with it is, and that needs attention. So ask yourself, am I eating for fuel or for comfort? Am I rewarding myself with something that holds me back? Am I using food as an escape or as a foundation? And when you begin to shift the answer, that's when things start to change. You'll stop sabotaging your hard work. You'll stop justifying the things that are holding you back. You'll stop cheating yourself out of the results you want. Because you're not just training your body, you're training your mind. And your goals, your progress, your power, it starts at the table. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being honest. It's about being consistent. It's about choosing long-term wins over short-term cravings. So yes, food is comfort, but discipline is freedom. And when you finally gain control over your choices, you'll gain more than a better body. You'll gain peace, confidence, strength, and pride. That gym builds muscles. The kitchen reveals them. And your choices define them. Fear is like an invisible chain that keeps people stuck. It's the voice in the back of your mind that whispers, what if it all goes wrong? It stops you from taking chances, from chasing dreams, from stepping outside the comfortable little box you've created around yourself. But did you know that most of what we fear never actually happens? It's not reality. It's just a story we tell ourselves, a worst-case scenario that plays on a loop in our mind. And as easily as fear appears, we can let it go. See, fear is nothing more than a survival mechanism. It's the brain's instinct to keep us safe. However, this neurological wiring stops us from speaking up. It stops us from trying. It stops us from living. We fear failure. We fear judgment. We fear discomfort. But the reality is, none of those things will destroy us. The only thing that truly destroys us is never taking the leap at all. Action is the antidote to fear. The moment you step forward, fear starts to lose its power. Fear thrives in hesitation. It grows in inaction. But when you take a step, even the smallest one, you send a message to your mind, I am in control. Think about the last time fear held you back. Maybe it was the fear of rejection, so you never asked for that opportunity. Maybe it was the fear of failure, so you never started. Maybe it was the fear of looking foolish, so you stayed silent when you should have spoken up. But now look at where you are. You survived. And chances are that fear wasn't as real as it seemed. Most of our fears dissolve the moment we face them head on. Fear of taking action is normal, but fear of inaction should scare you more. Because when you don't move, when you let fear win, you stay exactly where you are. And isn't that the real nightmare? Isn't that more terrifying than taking a risk? Nothing will change until you do. Everyone has fears. The difference between the successful and the unsuccessful is the successful ones face their fears head on and move through them. They didn't wait for fear to disappear. They felt it, acknowledged it, and kept going anyway. And that's called courage. It's not the absence of fear, but acting in spite of it. So what are you really afraid of? What's holding you back? Is it real or is it just a story? And more importantly, what will happen if you don't move? If you don't try? If you don't take the next step? You already have the power to let fear go. You already have what it takes to move forward. The question is, will you use it? Because fear will always be there, but so will the choice to overcome it. Fear might come along for the ride, but it doesn't get to drive your life. You do. A relapse is an experience that carries so much weight. It's a moment that feels heavy with guilt, shame, and frustration. And you told yourself you wouldn't go back, yet here you are, staring at the aftermath of what feels like failure. But listen to me, it's not failure. It's a part of the journey. I know it doesn't feel like it right now, but relapsing isn't the end of your story. It's a detour, not your destination. Every single person who has overcome great challenges has stumbled. They've fallen. They've questioned whether they could get back up. And do you know what separates those who rise from those who stay down? It's their mindset. I'll remind you, you're human, not perfect. Let me say this loud and clear. You are not your mistakes. You are not weak because you stumbled. You are human. And humans are beautifully imperfect. Growth isn't a straight line. It's messy, unpredictable, and sometimes feels like 2 steps forward and 1 step back. But even when you step back, you've still gained ground from where you started. If relapsing means you've fallen off the path, that means there's a path to begin with. That means you've been making progress. You've been showing up for yourself. You've been fighting for something better, and that fight isn't over just because you had a bad day or a bad week. So how do you move forward from here? How do you rise from what feels like rock bottom? First step is forgive yourself. Let go of the self-blame. Punishing yourself for what's already happened only drags you down further. Instead, give yourself the grace you would give a friend. Would you call them a failure, or would you remind them of their strength and encourage them to keep going. Do the same for yourself. Step 2 is reflect, but don't dwell. Take a moment to look back, not to beat yourself up, but to learn. What triggered this relapse? What thoughts, feelings, or situations pushed you off course? Understanding the why can help you prepare for the future. Step 3 is you're going to recommit to your goals. A setback doesn't erase your progress. You don't have to start over completely. You just need to pick yourself up and keep going. Adjust your plan if you need to, and reach out for support if you need it, but don't let this be the moment you give up. Step 4, I want you to refocus on the next step. Don't overwhelm yourself with the long road ahead. Just take the next step. One small action can shift your mindset. It can rebuild your momentum and remind you of your strength. You see, mindset is your superpower. Your mind is your most powerful tool in recovery. If you feed it thoughts of self-doubt and despair, it will believe them. But if you remind yourself of your resilience, your worth, and your ability to rise, your mind will believe that too. Every time you get back up after a relapse, you're proving to yourself that you're stronger than your setbacks. You're teaching yourself perseverance. You're building a foundation of strength that no stumble can take away. A relapse isn't the end of your story. Your journey isn't over. This moment doesn't define you, it prepares you. It reminds you of why you got started in the first place and what you're fighting for. So don't give up on yourself. Don't let this stumble be the chapter where your story ends. Stand back up. Take a deep breath and take one step forward. Your best days are still ahead of you, and when you finally look back on this chapter of your life, you'll realize that this wasn't the moment you failed. This was the moment you decided to rise stronger than ever.